my gosh. How are you?
Aw.
How's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, you look so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Wow.
I know
Yeah.
it's different from work. This isn't practical for work.
You look great either way. You look great every
Thank you. You're so
time.
sweet. So how's it going?
It's going really good. So far, it's good. I mean, it's a little discouraging. Everything's getting canceled and stuff like that. I mean, I think everyone's feeling it a lot.
Yeah.
It's been a while now.
Yeah, we're definitely feeling it. This week is so slow. We had, a bunch of cancellations, so that's really,
I was thinking it's just
really
like
tough.
it's such a domino effect, like
Yeah, for
we
sure.
can't get married, then we can't do the weddings, and we can't
Mhm.
order the flowers, and it's just hard, and it gets to you sometimes mentally a little bit, but you just gotta look at the positive side of it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Say, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about Ophelia?
Okay, my name is Say Kim. I am 29 years old, and I am the owner of the company Ophelia Floral Company. Um, the company is fairly young still. It's my third year going into it, but I feel like I've gotten so much knowledge, and I've a lot of experience with a lot of really talented florists, so I'm very lucky. Our company is a floral event design company, and I think our style for sure is organic, natural. It definitely is taking what Mother Nature has to offer in a really complimentary form.
Yeah, for sure. Your website is really beautiful, and your Instagram is really beautiful too. I actually loved your website because at the top you can click Instagram, but it doesn't take you to Instagram. It takes you to the picture gallery.
Yeah.
Really beautiful, and I don't know if I've ever seen that on anyone else's website.
Thanks. I
Yeah, I
really
like that
wanted
a
to make
lot.
the Instagram, or not the Instagram, the website kind of fun. That
Yeah,
wasn't the main point.
yeah, it's really beautiful. Um, what do you think inspires you, Say?
I think I was actually thinking about that question today when I was showering. I was really thinking about it. And I think that it's such a broad range. I'm drawn to color for sure, but I think it has to do with so much more than that. I think I'm inspired by art, photography, food. And I know this may sound a little cheesy, but I think senses and energy. And I think that influences me a lot because when I'm creating either for an event or just for me, it always has such a personal aspect that I think I really take the flowers and I take into consideration what kind of speaks to me.
Yeah. Do you listen to music when you design?
Absolutely.
You do?
That's a really important thing for me, especially. I love music. So I'll change it up depending on my mood, and it's never consistent. It can be anything.
Yeah.
In the day.
Yeah. So as a Korean American business owner, what do you think is or was your biggest struggle or hurdle?
I guess struggle could be that maybe, I mean, when you think about when you see really talented florists, and I think anyone that's starting out, what you do is you kind of look for your favorite person or the person who's the top florist in your area. And I think without even wanting to, you kind of look at what they look like. And I've noticed that there are definitely Asian florists, and I've seen them, but I think it's a sense of pride that you feel and encouragement when you notice that you can connect to them because they are maybe Asian as well.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things I think that you just feel a connection instantly. And I don't mean that in any way of I wouldn't with anyone else. It's just because you understand maybe how they culturally are raised. There's many differences. It just is what it is. And I feel like that could be a struggle, maybe feeling like there's not someone that I could really connect with in that kind of aspect.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've been so lucky that even going away from just our, races, we can connect as women. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that all florists are women. That's definitely not the case. There's
Oh, no.
such
Yeah.
talented men, but I think a lot of the majority are women.
Yeah.
And luckily, I've been able to connect in that kind of way as well. It's
Yeah.
been great.
So how do you think we can encourage diversity in our community, in our field?
I think we can encourage diversity by promoting it, and just as you're doing, um, just showcasing people who are of color, just because there's such a beautiful aspect about it.
Yeah.
Like people who are, America's just such a melting pot, and
Hmm.
we're so lucky to be introduced with different flavors of food, of
Oh
cultural
my gosh, yeah.
movies, songs, and it's just such a beautiful thing that I think that by promoting that and by showcasing that and showing that that's kind of the norm,
Yeah.
it's really the way to show other people that that's just how America is. It's just a mixing pot of different people.
Yeah. So with the whole COVID, kind of, wow, plaguing the floral industry pretty
Yeah.
tough.
Right.
How are you able to sort of pivot in a way where you maybe went down a different path? Are you getting some of those weddings that are more like smaller elopements or?
Absolutely. I had one case where she had a large wedding planned and she had to definitely scale back and do a small, intimate backyard wedding. And it's so beautiful. It's so
Yeah.
romantic still, but we've definitely taken a hit as community of how to showcase our talents. And I've been seeing so many beautiful ways people have been doing that, like
Yeah.
workshops. And personally, for me, I feel like during this time, it's been a really great way to just work on my talents or work on my weaknesses,
Oh,
doing a lot of in my own studio by myself with no other influences and creating something that's for me. I think that's very important to hone in on who you are as a florist.
well, see, now I'm curious.
Hmm.
What would you say would be one of your weaknesses?
Oh God, so many, Val, so many.
No,
God,
come
do
on
you have the
now.
time?
No way,
um,
Renee. No way.
I think that I have for sure a weakness in doing like large scale installations, like
Yeah.
large scale. And I've been trying to practice on it, like things that are hanging from the ceiling and things that are just so grand.
Yeah.
And I think that I've been taking the time and I've been, I think no matter what stage you are as a florist, watching educational tools and just finding out other people's tips and how they would go about executing a large scale installation.
Yeah.
It's just so educational. It can help anyone.
It's so
And that,
nice nowadays too, because everyone, has a little bit of time. So they're doing, giving tutorials and things like that. I think that's maybe one thing positive that came out of
yeah,
COVID in our industry, don't you think?
I think it's great. I really do, because people have a kind of general idea of how they want to do it, but everyone's approach is maybe a little bit different, or
Yeah.
they have one tiny little tip that they would do differently. And by you executing that and doing it by yourself, you can truly figure out like what's the best option for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's been my best thing about this whole pandemic is I've really been able to kind of figure out like who am I as the owner of Ophelia Floral, and
Yeah.
what's my style and what do I like without kind of emulating anyone else and just trying to really
Yeah.
listen to myself.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Um, I actually read on your website, and this has something to do with the COVID thing. One of your brides did just a little blurb on your page or on your website, and she said, with the whole COVID thing, you had to like switch things up.
Mhm.
And she said, and I quote, on the wedding day, you were such a sweet and calming presence. And I think that's so amazing. And it really sort of embodies you, say. Because I know you personally. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. I mean, don't you think that really just just the way she worded it, sweet and calming presence, that's the way you are. And I think that it's so needed in this time, I'm sure that bride probably had so much stress, with canceling her wedding, then maybe doing something a little smaller, changing the venue. It's so stressful.
Hmm.
So I think that's amazing that she said that about you.
Thank you. That is so nice. And I'm such an emotional
I
person
know,
that
me too.
that really touches me a lot. Thank you. That's really sweet to hear.
What advice can you give maybe boys or girls that would be interested in joining or exploring the floral industry?
My best advice would be to freelance. That
Yeah.
would be my first. But during this time, it's definitely difficult during COVID because
Yeah.
we can't, a lot of people aren't doing weddings. So if not doing that, I think watching tutorials,
Yeah.
anything that you can find. I've been seeing that a lot of florists online are doing free tutorials. They'll just show how they do things. And I think that's great. You just go and you find a vessel, a bowl, anything, and you just get some snips and you just practice. It's really about practicing and finding out what's your niche and feeling the flowers in your hands. And that's what I would say. As freelance if you can, if there's an opportunity to do
Yeah.
so. If not, look for workshops. There's ones you can pay for or ones that are free online. Even on the Mayash website, you guys give away so many wonderful things on YouTube that I think have been very helpful. And just getting
Awesome.
your hands wet, and don't be scared. There's no wrong thing to do when you're
Yeah.
first starting out.
That's amazing advice.
Mm-hmm.
Say thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and getting to know you. Today I'm going to celebrate you, and I appreciate, gosh, all your hard work. Like I said, I know you personally, so I know how hard you work, and just the things, the passion that you put into your work. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Thank you. And thank you to Mayash. Honestly, thank you. From when I first started, you guys always have been so kind and friendly. Even when I am still a nobody, but you know what I mean, when I
Oh,
didn't have any clue what I was doing. So thank you. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me.
thanks, Say.